Hello, and welcome to another episode of All Things Considered. Tonight, my topic is on Seattle and the $54 million that is spent on homelessness in 2017. You may not notice a difference you may not notice a difference when you drive around downtown Seattle, but the city is sure that it spent $54 million on its homelessness crisis in 2017. But the thing is that it spent $54 million, but you can't tell it. They're saying the $54 million is not much money. Look, if I can live on $771 a month and make it work, I can fix the homeless problem, and I won't need $54 million to do it. I just have to get people that are willing to work with me. You remember that story about the guy that came strolling into a small town, and he was hungry? Oh, was he hungry? He was starving. And he was asking people if they had something that they could spare for something to eat, and they kept saying no. And he says, well, you got a pot and some water, right? Yep. Y'all got a way to make a fire, do you? Yep, we got a way to make a fire. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll make you the best stone soup you've ever had. And he pulls the stone out of his pocket, and he shows it to the people, and he said, yes, sirree, this stone will make the best soup you ever had. So they boiled the water. They got it boiling real good, and he dropped the stone in there. And he took a stick and he stirred it around and stirred it around and stirred it around. And he pulled out a small wooden spoon. And he dipped up that water and he took a little drink. And he said, you know what? This stone soup's pretty good, but you know, it could really use a potato or two. So a lady hollered, I've got a couple of potatoes. And she brought the potatoes out, and they cut up the potatoes and put them in the soup. And as the stew is boiling and boiling and boiling, and that potato starts to get well done and soft, he takes his little wooden spoon and dips it up and says, this is pretty good. But man, it could sure use some carrots. Oh, I've got some carrots, said the old man. And the old man brought the carrots, and they cut up the carrots and put it in there. And about 15 minutes later, he said, this is pretty good. It's getting there. But man, you know what it could really use? It could use some beans. And somebody said from the back, I've got some beans. I got them in a sack in the house. So he pulled these beans out and they put them in the soup. Stirred it up, stirred it up, stirred it up. The beans started to get soft. And he dipped his spoon in there and said, this is really starting to taste good. But you know what it could really use? It could really use a little salt and some pepper and maybe some garlic. Oh, an old lady hollered, I have some of that. So the old lady went and got her garlic and pepper and salt and brought it out, and he put it in there, stirred it all around, and let that get to simmering a little bit. And he took another drink of that soup, and he tasted it. He says, this is just about there, but we're missing something. We're missing just a little bit of something. I don't know what it is, but it's missing something. And a young farmer hollered from the back, maybe you could use some meat to go in that stew. I have some. So he went and got his meat and put it in there, and that meat started cooking, and the whole town started smelling that soup, and oh man, it started to taste really good in everybody's minds. And when they got done, they had a pot of soup that lasted for a whole week. They ate until they were stuffed. And all the guy had in his pocket when he came into town was a rock, and everybody else provided the rest. Seattle, y'all need to come together around that pot with that rock boiling in that water. The only way the homelessness problem is going to get fixed, and the only way the high cost of living is going to come down, and the homeless problem is going to disappear, and the drug problem is going to disappear. the high cost of living is going to come down and the high cost of rent is going to come down is if everybody bands together around that pot and puts a little bit of what they got inside that pot just to make it taste much better. Here it says, back to what I was going to say, it says here, it breaks out as follows, 50 million. This is what they calculated. Emergency, 24.8 million, over 50%. Emergency shelters, safe havens, day centers, hygiene centers, transitional housing, authorized encampments, outreach, and safe parking. Permanent housing support, 16.8 million or 34%. Permanent supportive housing, transition in place, rapid rehousing. Prevention to keep people in homeless, prevention to keep people in homes. Oh, yeah, to keep you from becoming homeless. 4.2 million or 9%. Eviction prevention and diversion. Services, 3.3 million or 7%. Services for people experiencing homelessness, meal programs, and CD, BG, capital repair projects. The city said 50 million was the budgeted amount, but actual spending for the Human Services Department was 54 million all set in totals. And you can't see it on the street because it's not really doing anything to make that better. Now, that was in 2017. Now, I haven't done anything to show what's going on for this year, for the budget for this year, but I'll do a video on that. I'll go look that up. Anyway, I'm going to call it a quit on that one. That was a very short one. On how Seattle spent 54 million on homelessness in the 2017 period. That was 2 years ago. But if you enjoy my videos, if you think I'm worth anything, if you think that you can learn anything, or you just like to hear me ramble on, like and subscribe to the video. Please put a comment in the box. If you got any ideas for a future video, put a comment. If you think I can make a better video, put a comment. If you think you have an idea that can help the homeless problem, and you think you have an idea that can help the city of Seattle become better than it is, put a comment. It doesn't matter how outlandish it sounds. It doesn't matter how stupid it sounds. It doesn't matter whether I think it's stupid or somebody else thinks it's stupid. It may not be. Put it in the comments and I'll talk about it. When I start getting comments on these videos, I'll read them back on a video. And I'll say what I thought, what people were talking about. And I'll comment back to you as well. This is an Us Productions. You and I. Can't do it without you. Well, I could. I can make all the videos I want. It doesn't matter if you listen to them or watch them. I can still put them up. But it'd be nice if I'd have people that would listen to my videos and enjoy them. So on that note, I will let you go. This has been All Things Considered. Have a good night, Seattle, and all points beyond.